Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I am your host, Doug, here with your video blog for May 7th, 2014. Exciting blog planned for you today, a chock-full blog for sure. We'll check on the Yankees and the Mets. We'll also check on the NBA Rookie of the Year from Syracuse. I'll also give you a look at some Major League Baseball action. NFL draft talk, of course, as the draft will be tomorrow, but let's get started with the NBA playoffs. Last night we had the rest of the Game 1s, and let's go back to the first day of Game 1s as we have some Game 2s tonight. The first Game 1 that we had the other night was the Wizards and the Pacers. The Wizards beat the Pacers 102-96, and the game wasn't even that close. Bradley Beal, 25 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, really stepping up as a big-time player for the Washington Wizards. The Wizards are just playing out of their mind, and Roy Hibbert is absolutely not even on the face of the earth right now. Played 20 minutes again, no points, no rebounds, and 5 fouls. Roy Hibbert is going through a rough patch right now. I don't even know where Roy Hibbert is. And we got Game 2 tonight of that series, Wizards and Pacers. I'm going to take the Wiz in this series. I think the Wizards will win this series in 5. I think they'll lose Game 3 at home, coming off 2 big emotional road wins. So I'm picking the Wizards tonight to win this one, and they will go up 2-0 in this best of 7. The other Game 1 the other night was the Clips and the Thunder. Clippers just really playing some solid basketball. Chris Paul, who's never been known for a three-point shooter, hits 8 of 9, 6 of 6 in the first half. The Clippers thump the Thunder 122-105. Chris Paul 32 points, 10 assists. And Russell Westbrook still played pretty solid, 29, 4, and 4. But really, it's coming down to right now, Chris Paul is playing out of his mind. DeAndre Jordan is playing out of his mind. Blake Griffin's playing out of his mind. And Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant just don't have enough support on that Thunder roster to give them a shot to really make a run at this Clippers team that's playing really well right now. Game 1s last night, Brooklyn and Miami. Miami came into this series losing all 4 matchups to Brooklyn in the regular season. Heat took care of business last night, beating the Nets 107-86. LeBron James had 22 points. Joe Johnson played well for the Brooklyn Nets. He had 17, but LeBron and D-Wade just showed why they are the defending NBA champions and why they're going for a three-peat, because they played out of their mind. They got up and down the floor, made them run, and the Heat just pulled away late and really showed the Nets that the regular season means absolutely nothing. And the final Game 1 last night were the Spurs and the Trailblazers. Spurs taking down the Trailblazers 116-92. LaMarcus Aldridge had a good game, 32 and 14 for the Trailblazers. Lillard couldn't get anything going against Tony Parker, and Tony Parker was solid, responsible for 54 of the 116 points for the Spurs. They win 116-92. The other Game 2 we have tonight are the Clippers and the Thunder. I think the Thunder get back at it tonight. They shut off Chris Paul, and I'll take the Thunder in this one. This series could be going 7. The other big news out of the NBA yesterday, Mark Jackson, former coach of the Warriors, has been fired. Mark Jackson out. He had a 121 and 109 record, back-to-back playoff runs for the Warriors, and this is a surprising move. Mark Jackson, a good young coach in the NBA, really was finding what he could do with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. He had a nice roster also with Barnes, Iguodala, David Lee. Andrew Bogut just keeps getting hurt. So Mark Jackson out, and that's really opening up what's going to be going on with the Knicks job. The Knicks will now probably interview Mark Jackson. Steve Kerr's interviewing for the Warriors, and if I was Steve Kerr, I'd take the Warriors. Hands down, it's a better job than the Knicks right now, and we'll see what happens, but it's going to be a storyline to follow for the next couple of weeks. NFL Draft is tomorrow night. It is time to get inside the NFL Draft, and the first thing people are wondering is who is going with the top pick. I'm going to hit on 4 big questions that are being talked about right now. The first one has to be who is going to be the top pick. And I think the top pick, regardless of who's there, is going to be Jadeveon Clowney. He is the consensus top player in this draft. I think we're going to see a trade. I could see Buffalo coming up and getting that pick. I could even see Dallas coming up and getting that pick just to get Clowney. It'd be a good pick for anybody, and I think Clowney has to be the guy you take because he is the most sure thing in this draft right now. The other question people ask, who is going to be the first quarterback off the board? A lot of people earlier thought Blake Bortles, some thought Teddy Bridgewater. We're going to get to Bridgewater in a minute, but I think it's going to be Johnny Manziel. I heard he could be going at the 2 pick. I think he could go at the 2. Not if the Rams are there. The Browns could come up to 2 to get Johnny Manziel there. I think Manziel will go to the Browns wherever they are, and it's going to be exciting to see Johnny Manziel with Cleveland, especially with some of those good weapons like Josh Gordon. The next question is, where will Teddy Bridgewater go? Bridgewater, of course, as we remember, after last year's draft, was really projected as the top pick for the 2014 draft. Teddy Bridgewater had a decent season, didn't beat anybody good, didn't have a great pro day, didn't have a great combine, and people just think he's small. So where's Teddy Bridgewater going to go? I have Teddy Bridgewater going 8th to the Vikings. I think it's a good fit for Bridgewater, a guy where he's not going to have to throw a lot. He can defer to Adrian Peterson a lot. It'd be a good setup for Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if he doesn't go there, he could fall to the second round to a team like a Houston, like a Jacksonville, that don't pick a quarterback in the first round. And the final thing to look at is, where will openly gay football player Michael Sam be drafted? Michael Sam, I think he should get drafted. I think he's a good enough guy to make a practice squad, to make a final roster spot. I don't know if he will get drafted, though. He could be signed as a free agent. Ultimately, I think right now he's a 6th or 7th round draft pick at best. We're going to have more on the NFL draft tomorrow or Friday, as we'll break down the first round and see who's slipping to the second round, as Teddy Bridgewater still could be in that green room. On to Major League Baseball action, as we'll finish up with some MLB stuff. Last night, Clayton Kershaw made his first start since the return from the DL. He went 7 innings, 9 hits, 9 strikeouts in Washington as they beat the Nationals 8-3. That's just his second game of the year. He's 2-0, and now he has a .66 ERA. Another impressive performance, Nolan Arenado, the third baseman for the Rockies, now has a 26-game hit streak. And the Rockies are one of the hottest teams in baseball. They are now 21-14. And the final hot team in baseball, the Tigers, won again. They're now 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 7 straight as they beat Houston 11-4. Miguel Cabrera hit his 3rd home run of the year. Time for your New York Sports Report. Yankees last night take the second game of a 3-game set with the Angels, 4-3. Brian Roberts had a big 9th inning home run after Sean Kelly gave up the lead in the 8th. Robertson came on to pitch the 9th. Kuroda once again had a solid outing. He hasn't pitched well as of late. Solid outing finally, 7 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 8 strikeouts. Other news and notes, Michael Pineda onto the 15-day DL, and Brendan Ryan, the shortstop, has been activated from the DL. He will, I believe he's going to go to AAA at this point, but he could be called up later today. Tonight, 10:05, Yankees again. Vidal Nuno, 0-0, 6.87 versus Santiago, 0-5, 5.01. Mets kind of struggling. They've lost their 2nd straight, and it's just coming down to they're not hitting the ball. They lose 3-0 to the Marlins. They are now 27th in batting average and 29th in slugging in the big leagues. Tonight, they'll finish up a series with the Marlins. Zach Wheeler, 1-3, 5.13, and Kohler, 3-2. 2.41. Former Syracuse guard Michael Carter-Williams will have shoulder surgery, but that's not the big news. He won Rookie of the Year in the NBA on Monday, 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Solid season for him, and if he can hit a jump shot, he's going to be in the NBA for a while. NBA Game 2s, we'll be talking about those on Friday. We'll break down NFL Draft Round 1 and look ahead to the weekend. MLB Power Rankings, NASCAR at Kansas City. Always remember to follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415, YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I'll be back on Friday. Have a good rest of the week.